Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, KLNX is proud to present our featured programs, The Choir Ladies, The Unmentionables by Susie Macauley, and Boston Blackie, Blackie in the Fur Trade. But before we begin our programs, we have sad breaking news out of Minnesota. Poppin' Fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy, has died. Cause of death was a result of a low sesame seed count, yeast infection, and trauma resulting from repeated pokes to his abdomen. It has been reported that toward the end, it was thought Poppin' Fresh would rise again. But alas, he was no tart. The Pillsbury Doughboy is to be buried in a lightly greased coffin. Dozens of celebrities are to turn out to pay their respects, including Mrs. Butterworth, Hungry Jack, the California Raisins, Betty Crocker, the Gingerbread Man, and Captain Crunch. Aunt Jemima has agreed to deliver the eulogy. She has described the Doughboy as a man who never knew how much he was needed. Miss Debbie, or Little Debbie, will direct the choir at the Doughboy's funeral service. She will lead the choir in singing, "You Raised Me Up," "I Need You," and Poppin' Fresh's favorite anthem, "Let It Dough, Let It Dough." Born and bred in Minnesota, the Pillsbury Doughboy rose quickly in show business, but his later life was filled with turnovers. He was considered a very smart cookie, wasting much of his dough on half-baked schemes. Despite being a little flaky at times, he still was a crusty old man and was considered a positive role model for millions. The Pillsbury Doughboy is survived by his wife, Poppy, 3 children, John Doe, Jane Doe, and Dozy Doe. Plus, they had one in the oven. He is also survived by his elderly father, Pop-Tart. Poppin' Fresh will also be missed by his dog, Flapjack, and cat Biscuit. The funeral service is to be held on October 15th at 3:50 for about 20 minutes. Now sit back and enjoy The Choir Ladies, The Unmentionables. We call upon the scene with Helen, Ruthie, and June as they entered Shepherd of the Heartland Church on the Thursday evening. These ladies are the women's trio who have been asked to do a special number for Pastor Brown's 10-year anniversary celebration on Sunday, and they are here for a special rehearsal. They gather in the sanctuary.
June, get the light, would you? I don't know why churches are so spooky in the dark.
Maybe it's because of creaky doors. Why doesn't Jinx oil that door? Isn't that what a janitor is supposed to do?
June, are you getting the light?
Yes, Helen, but I can't find it. I'm feeling around for it. How do you think he got that name anyhow, Jinx? Whenever I see him, it cracks me up. Hi, Jinx, I say. Don't you think that's funny? Hi, Jinx. Boy, it's dark in here.
That's why I want you to find the light switch.
Oops! Ouch! Here it is. Found it. Ruthie, where are you?
Right here. And There certainly isn't any sneaking up on people in here with all the noise we're making.
I wonder where Charlotte is. Isn't that her car in the parking lot? I'm sure she said 7:30.
She did. It's unusual for her to be late. She's always here before everyone else, and I did see that car and wondered, maybe she ran into some trouble.
Maybe she was kidnapped.
June, for heaven's sake. This is a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Nobody gets kidnapped.
Well, we may only have 500 people in town, but we are on a main road, and we have our own newspaper.
That's true. I suppose it could happen here, but in church? The church organist? I mean, come on.
Why not? A place you least expected. I'm sure there are some ne'er-do-wells in our midst.
June, let's not let our imagination run wild again, shall we?
Well, I'm just saying.
So what do we do now? Just sit around and wait?
I'm sure she'll be here soon, and I'm certain she hasn't been kidnapped. In the meantime, we can look over our harmonies.
I don't know why we have to sing from down here. I'd much rather be in the choir loft and not in front of everyone.
Just consider it your Christian duty.
Fine.
And so the women wait and wait. Then they wait some more. Finally, 10 minutes later.
Well, I'm getting tired of waiting. It's time to case the joint.
June, we're in church, not a joint. And besides, why do you assume something bad has happened?
Don't let her have her adventure. Besides, it's better than just sitting here.
Okay, let me get a pencil and paper. Do we have paper?
I have a notepad, and here's a pen. What do you need that for?
Clues. I think we should look for clues. I'll write them down.
I better come with you. Maybe keep you out of trouble. Let's start in the choir loft.
This is so exciting. Helen, don't you want to come with us? The game's afoot. I've always wanted to say that. The game's afoot. Wait a minute.
What?
What if there's a body?
There isn't going to be a body.
How do you know?
I just do. There isn't going to be a body.
Okay, I'm just not good with dead bodies.
Well, who is?
Well, no one, I guess. Other than an undertaker, maybe. Do you think maybe they like dead bodies? I can't imagine anyone wanting that for their life's work. And wouldn't that be more like death's work?
June, for heaven's sake, move over and I'll go first. Okay, Helen, we're in the choir loft. Oh my, oh my.
What's wrong? Did you find something?
I'll say, you ought to see this mess, Helen. It looks like a tornado came through here. Chairs thrown around. Jinxie isn't going to like this.
Wait a minute. Don't touch anything. I'm coming up.
Don't touch anything? She sounds like she thinks something bad did happen. What do you think, Ruthie? Do you think this is a crime scene? Are we in danger?
Calm down. I think she just wants to see it for herself. Right, Helen?
Right. Okay, let's just step back a minute and look things over carefully. Oh my. I see what you mean when you said it was a mess.
Yes, but who made it and why?
Do you think this has anything to do with Charlotte's disappearance? Do you think she was kidnapped? Or worse yet, abducted?
Well, first, kidnapped and abducted are the same thing. And second, we still don't know if Charlotte has disappeared or is just late.
Do you suppose the perp is still here? That's what they call them on those crime shows, the perp. I don't know what it stands for, but that's what they call them.
Honestly, June, we don't know anything yet. And it stands for perpetrator, as in the perpetrator of the crime. Let's look around.
Gather clues. I have a pen and pad in hand.
My goodness, several windows are open. Now, why do you suppose they were left open? All sorts of things can fly in. And bats, I hate bats.
I better write that down. Windows open. Possibility of bats.
Maybe Charlotte was here and something bad did happen.
Maybe she was bitten by a vampire bat. Bat was possibly a vampire.
A very remote possibility. But look, the chairs indicate a struggle or perhaps someone in a hurry to leave.
anybody here?
Jinx, is that you?
Hi, Jinx.
Oh, be quiet. Jinx, it's Ruthie, Helen, and June. We were supposed to meet Charlotte to rehearse some music.
I saw the light on and thought I'd better check to see what was going on.
We're what's going on, and we can't seem to find Charlotte. Have you seen her?
Nope, I haven't.
Then do you know if that's her car in the parking lot?
I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, I see it around here a lot.
Really? So Charlotte hangs around the church a lot? I better write that down.
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe there's something going on with her and Pastor Brown.
Oh, let it go, June. I'm going to look around the organ.
Hey, feel it and see if it's cold or not.
Why is that?
Well, if it's warm, that means she was here and left, got kidnapped. I'm going to look for a ransom note.
Would you get off the kidnapped? However, it is a good idea to check and see if the bench was moved or the music book opened.
I'm sure the organ would be cold by now anyway. I'm going to close the window.
Use a tissue. They might want to dust for fingerprints later. You know, maybe it's more than a kidnapping. Maybe she was murdered instead.
June, for heaven's sake.
Well, would you look at this?
What? What did you find?
I found the hymnal all right, and it's open. And there's something lying across it.
What do you mean something on it? A bookmark? A dead bat?
Or blood? Is there blood, Helen?
Come over here and see for yourselves, but don't touch anything.
Oh, well, would you look at that?
What? What is it?
Oh, I'd say a black lacy 36D. Ooh, I better write that down. Black lacy 36D.
A 3060? Let me see. No, I'd say at least a 38D.
Yep, I'd say a 38D too.
Jinx!
You've had some experience in this, Jinx?
Oh, well, I'm just saying I've been around. And I've always been good at measurements. Remember when the bishop was coming to visit?
Yes, we had all those music rehearsals and decorating. So?
So, if you remember right, the bishop was a kind of large man.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yes, and quite tall. Well over 6 feet, I'd say.
Yep, 6 feet, 5.5 inches precisely. A big man, but don't get me wrong, he was well proportioned, except for one thing.
And that was?
Well, we knew his ample backside would not fit in any of the chairs in the sanctuary.
But what do you mean, backside?
Oh, June, get a clue. Backside, backside. So what'd you do, Jinx?
Well, it was my job to find a chair that would look grand enough for a bishop, but not so big that it looked like we thought his tush was the size of a cruise ship.
So, what did you do?
Well, Pastor Brown took the bishop golfing and I caddied for him.
And that's it?
Well, yeah. One look at his backside when he swung that club was all I needed to scope things out. The chair fit perfect. Yep, I am real good at measurements.
Sounds like you've got quite a gift, Jinx.
Yep, I've even got a name for it. I call it my psychic ruler. Just ask me a measuring question. If I've seen it, I can measure it. Go ahead, just ask.
Wow, Jinxie, you have a photogenic memory.
I think you mean photographic memory. But for now, back to the hymnal and black lace.
Yes, which one is it? 36D or 38D? We need to know.
Why? I don't see how size is all that important.
But it is. That way we can match it up with someone.
And how are you going to do that? Are you going to go up to people and ask them to try it on?
Yeah, it could be a little like Cinderella in the glass slipper.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Just look at the size tag.
Why didn't I think of that?
3 guesses.
There it is. I can see the tag. I was right, 38D.
See, what did I tell you? I'm real good at measurements. And there was that other time when...
And let's get back to our little investigation and put the now established 38D back where it was?
I'll bet it is Charlotte's. Look at all that lace, and it's black. I always thought she was kind of a hussy.
She's not a hussy. There's nothing wrong with wearing black lace.
Well, maybe she wasn't kidnapped at all. Maybe she was meeting someone here. Maybe they were having what'd you call it? A tryst.
I think you mean tryst.
Oh, I guess. Maybe there was a tryst.
Helen, the hymn book fell open at a particular spot. Do you think Charlotte left that as a clue?
What hymn came out on top?
We were supposed to be rehearsing Just a Closer Walk, but the book fell open, or was open to, How Great Thou Art.
How great thou art. Ooh-wee.
Gosh, a black lacy 38D, and how great thou art. That sure sounds like hanky-panky to me.
Look, let's not make assumptions until we've looked around some more, all right?
I wonder who's coming now.
It's the perp. Everybody hide.
We're not going to hide.
Maybe it's Charlotte, or it could be Pastor Brown.
Well, hello, ladies and jinx.
Oh, it's the housekeeper, silly me.
Hello, Gertrude.
I saw the light on and wondered if Pastor Brown was here. I had an important call for him, and I looked around everywhere. He was gone, just disappeared. Very unusual for him not to tell me where he's going. I checked in the garage, and even his car is gone.
We were supposed to meet Charlotte for an extra rehearsal. We're singing a special song for Pastor Brown's 10-year anniversary here, but Charlotte has disappeared too, assuming she ever was here. Have you seen her around, Gertrude?
Uh-oh, the plot thickens. 2 people missing now. I better write that down.
Give it a rest, June.
I think that's Charlotte's car in the parking lot. But, wow, look at the mess up here. What happened? Looks like a tornado.
This is the way we found it, and you ought to see what's over on the organ bench. Look here.
Oh my goodness. Is that a 38D? And how great thou art?
Yes, very puzzling.
Well, I think it spells hanky-panky and maybe even shenanigans.
June.
I think we should look around to see if there's any more clues. And maybe there's something else I can measure to help us out.
Not a bad idea. I'll look over here and try to straighten up a little.
Yes, let's get things back in order. Jinx, go ahead and look around if you want to.
Yep, I'll use my flashlight to check the floor. Hard to see much on this dark old wood, and if I can't see it, I can't measure it.
Well, I'm going to review the clues. Missing organist, ... Missing pastor, ... Black lacy 38D, ... And how great thou art, ...
Enough of the dots, June.
Hey, I think I see a little blood.
She was murdered! I knew it! Another clue! Several liters of blood.
June!
Wait, here's a dead bee.
So what? That's not so unusual in an old building. Is it?
Yeah, but this one's been squashed.
Another clue. One dead bee, squashed. Wait a minute. Maybe she got stung and went into, what do you call it? Anti-philatelist shock.
Unless you got something against stamp collectors, I think you mean anaphylactic shock.
That would explain the 38D on the hymnal.
Yeah, I got a bee down my blouse once and I was frantic. That bee was buzzing around like crazy and I'm tearing my clothes off trying to get it off before it stings me. Pretty soon I'm stripped down to my...
Never mind.
Well, just saying.
For heaven's sake, who's coming now?
Well, whoever it is, I hope they have some answers. I'm pretty sure no one's been kidnapped, murdered, or involved in hanky-panky, shenanigans, or trysts.
Oh, Pastor Brown.
Hello, ladies, and hello, Jinx, Gertrude. What are you all doing up here?
You had a very important phone call, and I looked around and couldn't find you, so I thought maybe you'd come over to the church. And this is
Well, we've had some excitement today. I'd gone outside to check the mail when Charlotte came running over from the church. She was having trouble breathing and had broken out in hives, something awful. She said she'd had stung by a bee and had to get to the ER immediately because she's highly allergic. I drove her over because she was in no condition to drive herself.
Oh. I told you it was that Anna something shot. I told you
Yes, June, you did tell us that and many other things as well.
So how's Charlotte now?
Well, she's a little woozy. She was given a pretty high dose of antihistamine. And of course she had to get several stitches in her leg.
What? Several stitches in her leg?
How did that happen?
Well, you know how it is. I had a bee get down my shirt one time, and I was so frantic to get it out that I'm tearing at my clothes trying to get rid of it before it could sting me. Pretty soon I was stripped down to my...
Pastor!
So what about the blood?
Well, Charlotte was frantic. She stumbled over the chairs, knocking over the music stand, and hit her shin on the edge. Pretty wicked cut.
How terrible. Do you think she'll be okay for Sunday's celebration?
Oh, sure. She's a trooper. She asked if one of you could bring her car down to the ER and drive her home. Here are the keys.
I'll take them.
No, I'll take them. Let's all three go. I'll drive.
That's nice, ladies. She felt bad about missing the rehearsal. Oh, and she said she'd left an article of clothing here and asked if you'd bring that too. She said you'd know what she was talking about.
Yeah, I know what she means. I'll get it.
James, let's be a little discreet, shall we?
I am. Here it is.
Oh my, is that a 38D?
Pastor!